the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just don't stop.
Alright, what's up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful, blasphemous bastards. Welcome back. You know, I wasn't going to stream tonight. I've been busy all day. Made another video. It's on my other channel. It's an interesting video. If, I didn't put... I'll have to get used to putting the link for the new channel in the description. Interesting video. You know, I don't know if you know Jamie Russell on this platform, but I have him on my Facebook, and I see pictures of him and his wife. And one time he talked to me like I should know his wife, but I've never seen his wife before. Well, today on Knock TV, on the other channel, I made a video covering his wife. And she has some interesting perspectives. I'll throw the link in the side chat to the video I made today if anybody's interested. Check it out later. Subscribe to the new channel. But yeah, so I was done making videos for the day. I made a 16-minute video. You know, I think the video is pretty good. You know, I'll get better and better as I get familiar with this program. You know, I was going to find some stuff to watch. And I just happened to, you know, because I have all these old channels that I haven't visited forever on this other channel. I was visiting Jefferson Spatchcock's channel, and I just happened to find this. And I should have known. I've never been subscribed to Hillary's emails before, but I am now. I don't recommend it for anybody. As I put in the description, he's an unpleasant fellow. But, you know, back in the day, I did a review of the Jubilee debate between Mehdi Hassan and 20 MAGA conservatives. And like some cray shit happened in that debate. And I remember Hillary's emails being in my side chat, like just talking shit. And Hillary's one of those fascists that get mad every time you say the word fascist because it makes him reflect and internalize on his own obvious fascism. Kind of like CJ Cox. They get really, like, you know, there are these conservatives that get really butthurt about the word fascist. Like, really butthurt. So I figured, you know, instead of just watching this or watching Jefferson's take on it, I'd react to it myself. So I clicked on the link Jefferson provided. He's so much better at that than me. I'm going to try to get better at that if it's needed and deserved. But Hillary's emails isn't deserved. Fuck that guy. I'm sure I haven't watched this. I didn't even watch much of Jefferson's video, and I don't have to watch Jefferson's video, and I probably will go back and watch it because I do have some ego, and I enjoy watching people defend me, and I don't have to watch it to know that Jefferson's going to defend me from whatever nonsense Hillary is gonna spew here. But I figured I'll defend myself, and joining him is this Iron Dune character who is a old friend / hater of the channel. I've done a few videos on Sparkles, but it's midnight. Everybody's favorite sparkly albino. And, like, I thought we had squashed all our beef, but, the thing with Sparkles is he's always got beef. And then he gets, like, super surprised when, like, I respond to it. And I shouldn't respond to it. It should be beneath me. We'll see if it is now. But we'll see what these two fine gentlemen have to say. We'll see what these two fine gentlemen have to say about yours truly. But I can almost guarantee that I've triggered a conservative fascist that really, really doesn't like the word fascist. Yep, just another day as a non-Christian. Yeah, I'm getting back at that work. I'm getting back at that work in a big way. And I'm going to try to actually grow an atheist channel instead of just tomfuckery. But all right, let's get into this, because this is a 4-hour stream, so Hillary had a whole bunch to say about me. No way I'm covering all of this. His audio sucks. It always sucks. It's something we're going to have to deal with. Mine will be better, probably too loud. Let's get into it.
Well, hello. So, do you remember basically when, let me see, when he said something about me? Because I remember I went in and first thing I heard was fascism. And I said, you can't even define fascism because he used it in such a way.
I don't know the exact timestamp. He said, actually, hold on a sec. Actually, no, I guess looking at the time when I posted the message, wouldn't exactly tell you.
Yeah, he really, really, really doesn't like the word fascism if you use fascism. I will usually chide him if he's in my side chat. Kind of like Tom Tom here. How you doing, Tom Tom? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a real person, Tom Tom. Sparkles, yeah, you're not wrong. Sparkles does go everywhere, gets mods everywhere. You're not wrong.
Which part in the video he said it? Because I was going to look at the timestamp where I posted that he said something to see whether I could figure it out, how long it actually... Maybe...
So this was like in the brief period that I had started streaming again about 8 months ago. And it just really wasn't working with the internet feed that I had. So I'm going to imagine that I'm going to be a lot louder than they are. And hopefully I'm not going to break all of our eardrums.
Okay. Well, I'll play him at a little bit quiet.
Do you want to, put a side by side like me now?
Well, it's not too bad.
Just 16
definitely
minutes
louder.
ago. So I guess go from back 16 minutes to what it is now.
16 minutes ago. So like they're like keeping count of when I triggered them, right? That's hilarious. Like they always like to point at us leftists and like say we're snowflakes. Can't handle a joke, bro. But like literally counting the minutes since I triggered their precious assholes. It's hilarious.
Isn't on a mass level.
Okay.
How can you be anything but pro?
Well, I'm going to hit this first because he made
I'll mute.
Comments about fascism and capitalism, which he got the two definitions backward.
I got the two definitions backward. A couple other things. Like I have I literally, when I define fascism, I literally pull up the dictionary definition, and it drives them insane. I'm not going to be able to define fascism in whatever cockamamie way you've defined it in your own fucking brain. Conservatives go out of their way to not understand fascism because they have spent, I don't know, however long since World War II, trying to convince themselves and trying to convince everybody else that Nazism, that fascism isn't a far right ideology, right? You know, they'll give you this number about how Mao killed 100 million people in China, which is an inaccurate number. Now, I'm not trying to dismiss what Mao did, but it was more like 50 million at the greatest estimate. And the number they're given, the 100 million, is actually like the total lives lost to communists across the board during that time period, to communists and socialists. And it's a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we can point to atrocities in a lot of different places. What do you think the toll would have been? What, like 62 million, whatever, if Trump would have followed up on his threats? And I'm not sure what the exact tolls of Nagasaki and Hiroshima was, but I can't imagine they were small. You know, we can contrive numbers about how many people have caused the legitimate deaths of within capitalism, right? And none of these like fucking snowflakes, their assholes would literally clench up and say, no, that's not true. You can't attribute that to that. Because a lot of these assholes contribute, like those large, massive numbers, a lot of those numbers are contributed to famine, which you can't really necessarily contribute to, like, say, one actual leader. There's several reasons why a famine can happen. It could be from malfeasance from a leader. It could be from bad policy. You know, like you might have good intentions and it's just bad policy and a famine happens. There's a lot of contingencies within that, you know, and instead of like blowharding the numbers or justifying the numbers, let's just talk about the real numbers. And then instead of saying like socialism evil, let's talk about ways we can make socialism better and make sure that doesn't happen again. Let's talk about ways we can infuse capitalism and socialism together to live in harmony so we as a people can live better, more productive lives. Seems pretty simple to me. But, you know, they can't get past the fact that their assholes are clenching so hard because they heard the word that they know that they are. And you know, they understand that they're supposed to be patriots, right? Like they portray themselves as patriots. They want so desperately to be patriots, except for like Sparkles, who like long ago admitted his Nazism, right? So, I mean, Hillary's emails, he tries to deny it, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could be a fly on the wall in Hillary's emails bedroom, if when he's whacking it at night right before bed, if he doesn't have a picture of, you know, good old Adolf that he's looking at.
Other people, Maya Atkinson and Puplipagus, got the definitions backward. In
yeah, Jamie.
Also.
Then we're never going to be MAGA ever.
If they were to,
the wrong thing.
just for example, they were to rush the cap.
Liberals eating each other. Like before January 6th, we weren't really combating fascism. We were combating conspiracy.
Okay, so he uses the word fascism, and later he'll deny that he did this. But so fascism, we weren't really combating fascism. Define what fascism is, because apparently it's something that no one else holds.
We were saying the word Hitler a lot, but it was because, you know.
Oh, we were saying the word Hitler a lot.
Donald Trump was doing a lot of like Hitler comparisons himself.
Oh, so if you compare someone to Hitler, that makes you Hitler, because that's exactly what Hitler did. He compared all of his enemies to what he was doing.
And there was a lot of comparisons. And
God, I already did it once. I'm starting to get used to not even hitting that stupid button, but thank you, Kent Hovind CPA. Gosh, that was like a good, 2-3 minutes there, me just rambling. I had gotten pretty decent at not doing that, but let's just leave the fucking microphone on, unless I absolutely have to turn it off. So thank you, Kent Hovind, CPA. I was just saying, like, I don't understand why, they get so butthurt when we call them fascists. They don't get butthurt when Trump calls us fascist or communist or whatever trigger word he's trying to use. And like Trump literally stole his campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," from fascists. He aligns himself with it. They put out propaganda just like Goebbels did. I mean, they pretty much used the Goebbels handbook. They're Christian nationalist fascist. And I don't even count like Trump as a Christian nationalist, or probably most of his administration. Those people are just power-hungry politicians utilizing Christian nationalism and Christianity as a whole as a weapon, a cudgel against the American people. So I don't know what I'm going on about here. I didn't really hear a lot of people really saying that Trump is Hitler, especially not like politicians, But people talking shit on the internet is what I think I'm referring to. Yeah, people were probably doing that a lot. And so fucking what? And it's kind of bearing out to be true, isn't it? Like, this didn't really age well for the people like Hillary's emails. And this is like, I never understood, because I really like and enjoy Sammy. But Sammy hangs around a lot of really fucked up people. And I wish Sammy would realize that these people are fascist and that they shouldn't, unless they change their beliefs, they're not worthy of Sammy's time. He's too good for that. And hopefully he still didn't hang around with all these douchebags.
Some of the things that he was doing, especially like the whole "Make America Great Again" thing, is,
yeah, if you care about your country or are working in the benefit of your country at all, that's the worst thing ever. And if you run a company, you definitely shouldn't want to help your company. And if you run a family, if you care about your family at all, you're literally worse than Hitler. You might as well just round up 6 million people
whoever
right
said
now
that?
If you care about your family.
totally a Hitler thing.
Whoever said that?
Totally.
But I think that like the true fascism was seen it was seen on that scale for the first time with January 6th, and that was the beginning of this battle that we're fighting. And I think that we need to realize that we're...
Okay, I like calling them the Freedom Riders, the J6 Freedom Riders. Go back to the 1960s and look at how leftist groups did. And see, I call them leftists, but they were typically Jews, actually. So, like, are religious groups on the left now? I don't know. But anyway, so there were people who wanted to register blacks to vote in the South. And there was also a law, I think, something about interstate travel. I don't remember exactly what it was. Well, anyway,
he just mentions you again, apparently, according to Sandy, because I have the stream muted while I'm in here, obviously.
Well, if you would just like write it down whenever the times are, so that we can hit those when we get there. So I always say the J6 Freedom Riders.
What did Midnight say? Did Midnight just say he said it again? They get so butthurt about the word fascist. Stop being a fascist and it wouldn't affect you. Like, people that aren't fascists don't get angry about the word fascist. Only fascists get angry about that word. Like, seriously, it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Volunteers would go down into the Deep South to try to help register blacks to vote. And Democrats were totally against this. The Democrats would have sheriff's departments, citizens.
He's talking about like civil rights and in the 60s. Yeah, like the Dixiecrats would have been against that because they were conservatives. And guess what happened? The Republicans solidified around that conservative base in the South. And they utilized the Southern strategy for 30 years. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Hillary's emails. It's just kind of like too bad you're too fucking stupid to know that history. But you've probably been brainwashed by white people your whole life. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. There's a lot of culture out there. There's a lot of history out there that you're probably not aware of.
Like militias and stuff like that. They were armed that would stop the drivers of the cars with a black person in it. Because, again, something about interstate transit. And like they would beat and sometimes even murder. The first time I learned about this was the movie Mississippi Burning. So apparently, the left and Democrats were out.
So he learned that Democrats were conservatives in control of the South through a movie, Mississippi Burning. And he learned that Democrats were lynching black people. Conservatives were lynching black people. Like, he won't be able to equate those two. Like, he won't get it, right? Or he'll try to ignore that as much as he fucking can. Conservative Democrats in the South. The last remnants of a time period in this country when politicians, when ideology didn't center around political party. Right? Republicans had conservatives and liberals. Democrats had conservatives and liberals. And then civil rights happened. And shit solidified. It's called United States history.
Murdering black and Jewish people and white people who were
What's up,
trying
Marty?
to get people registered to vote. So yeah, that's what I think fix is, that when they showed up, they said, we want our votes to count. We don't want you counting Confederate soldiers and people that have been dead 130 years. We just want living people who are eligible to vote. And apparently being allowed to vote, having that civil liberty, is more than not can handle. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if you ever just.
I mean, are Democrats trying to... So they say Democrats steal elections, but Democrats have never stolen an election. Republicans have done it since like the year 2000 at least, when they stole the election from Al Gore. Like, who's the party trying to... who is restricting votes right now? Who's the party whose Supreme Court just voted to legalize racial bias and gerrymandering? Who's the party that preached to the stupid choir, the choir of stupidity, for all those years about liberals politicizing the bench? But then as soon as they have complete control of the Supreme Court, going about breaking United States precedent that they harped on for so fucking long, and told and lied to the American people that it would be Democrats that broke all precedent, just you watch. Who is trying to instill permanent rule in what's supposed to be a democracy right now? See, this aged really bad for you fascists, didn't it? Like, you truly expected by now that they would have won, and you'd be free to be fascist. But unfortunately for you, you live in fucking America. It's never gonna win. It's never gonna win. Most people, even you retarded ass maggots, aren't truly fascist. You don't have the stomach for it.
To extend an invitation.
Sure. Go ahead and let him know that, if he wants to come over, then I'd be more than happy to talk with him live, because apparently he likes to hide behind a microphone and just spew lies.
Okay, I'll get her back.
Like, seriously, I talk to everybody all the time. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? I talk to everybody all the fucking time. Always have. I've talked to this douchebag several times. He's infuriating. He's too stupid to talk to.
In a war. I spoke of this Destiny thing yesterday that I watched. And I'm planning on probably watching that. And I know everybody's like, don't watch Destiny. And I get that. I don't really watch Destiny anymore. Not since the sex shit. I'm letting that shit resolve. He is one of my favorite moderate debaters, but his stance on Israel is atrocious. So pretty much since October 7th of last year, I really haven't watched him.
So
this was fascinating just because it came up on my feed. It beat my algorithm and I saw it. And I wanted to see the clusterfuck. But
I mean, is that controversial? Destiny's moderate? That's not controversial.
What I found fascinating about it was like these liberals eating each other.
Liberals eating each other. I don't care.
It was like they still want to play nice, with fascists, and I don't.
Okay, there he
like,
goes.
no, it's not time to play nice. It's time to fight a war. Fascism's here in America, and it's not like why be nice to fascists? Like why would you want a fascist to come under your umbrella? Like I don't. Until they're not a fascist anymore. They're not.
I mean, if you live in the United States of America and you hear somebody say, "Why would you like a fascist?" Why would you get triggered about that? Why would that trigger you so much that you're like counting the minutes since? Like, that's like the most American thing an American can say.
worth that energy, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe.
I guess I'll go ahead and let it play while I look up the definition. But my understanding of fascism, and I know there's several.
There's a definition.
Trying to get the government to use its force to get the private population and private industry to do something.
Huh? And he says, I don't know how to define the word of fascism. Let's do it real quick. Actually, we'll do it over here so you guys can see it. We'll AI that shit if I can. Definition of fascism. This is what I do every fucking time, bro. Fascism is an ultranationalist, far-right political philosophy and mass movement characterized by dictatorial power, the forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. That's fascism. Now, you can iterate fascism in different ways. And I would argue that we are seeing a new form of fascism now. We're seeing the Christian nationalist form of fascism. Throw in autocracy. Throw in a little bit of some old, what would it have been back then? Shit. I'm drawing a blank. When it was all monarchs and shit. Feudalism. Yeah, feudalism. It's not very hard. So, when Trump is going out and he's saying, I'm proud to be a nationalist, that's an indicator. That's fascist speak. Right? When he's out there saying people don't have the constitutional authority to burn the American flag and has signed illegal executive orders trying, which has led to people being arrested in the city, in Washington, D.C. He's trying to stymie people's ability to vote and for a population, an electorate, to use the democratic process to vote for the people they want to elect them. And then they get butthurt and they cry when the Democrats respond. Like, they don't understand because they're all, like, itching to, stop elections, illegally stop elections in what's supposed to be a free country, so they can redraw their maps to solidify the rule. And just like before, when they did it the last time, not thinking like this legitimizes gerrymandering on the other side, right? So Democrats have actually put standards in to limit gerrymandering, but now they have every justification, the Supreme Court has ruled, to get rid of all that shit and to gerrymander the fuck away. And it'll be a gerrymandering war. And this is why. What is going on? It says poor, and then it like switched to my like. Oh, that was super weird. But in my stream, it says I've got poor internet or poor connection. Am I lagging a lot? I don't know what's going on. They probably don't like I'm using the word fascist so much. As a German growing up in Germany, we were taught that calling people fascists is to be used very carefully because real fascists are very dangerous, but watering down the term is dangerous too. Yeah. Yeah, and and it is kind of a hard line to walk, because if you have fascists among you, you've got to call them out, right? You've got to call it out. You cannot let it stand. You cannot let these people exist in your fear of calling it out. Hopefully the stream's going to be okay. I'm not sure what's going on in my studio. That's the first time I've ever really seen that happen. Maybe it's because it's for some reason it went to the beginning. I see now. Okay, that threw me for a loop. But yeah, and this is what I do, and they get so triggered by it because They've been told by people what fascism is. So like the people that are brainwashing them into fascism, don't, I don't know, push them away with it. Like, oh, this isn't fascism. This is what fascism is. I don't know if they're just lying outright, if they're just really, really stupid. And I think a lot of Americans just really, really don't know what it is. They only know Hitler. They only know concentration camps. That's what Americans know. They don't know political philosophy of fascism. And then when you try to explain it to them, they're like, no, that kind of sounds like me. Yeah, dumbass. It sounds like you. That's why when he was out there saying I'm a nationalist, we were like raising the red flags. Like, this isn't okay. Fucking idiots, man. People are so stupid. This is how they fool you. They use propaganda. They whip you up against transgender people, or Mexicans, or Haitians, or liberals, or socialists, or gay people, or black people. Never the real enemy. Never the real enemy, the billionaires that are funding and fueling their fascism. Nobody loves fascism more than a fucking billionaire. Nobody.
So
that could have been like a errant statement. I don't know. I'm just talking shit at that last part. Like, I don't know. I mean, if you're a billionaire that defies the fascist, I would say you probably don't like fascism, and probably have had bad experiences for it. So I that last part, we'll rethink that.
as soon as Wikipedia catches up, I'll share the tab. And this is Wikipedia. I'll admit, it needs scholarly text. So we're just trying to get an idea. And there's going to probably be a lot of questions on here because, like this, far-right traditional. Okay, I will dispute this because they went against the Catholic Church, against Jehovah's Witnesses. They were totally anti-right. So a socialist, communist group, that says opposed to communism, but this is a lie. They were, if you look at Hitler.
No, it's not a lie. The first thing he did was arrest or kill all of the socialists and communists in Germany. Just because you say you're a socialist doesn't make you a socialist. I would ask Hillary's email. Is North Korea a democracy? Because what is the name of North Korea? Let me look it up so I don't get it wrong. What is the actual name of North Korea? The Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Is Korea a democracy because they call themselves the Democratic Republic of Korea? Is North Korea a democracy? It's a fallacy, bro. You're fooling yourself. Or you're trying to justify fascism because you want to succeed. I think that's it. I think that's what it is. You're being disingenuous. You're lying to people. You're lying to all of your friends. You fooled people that I've considered friends. You're full of shit. Everything you say is full of shit. And either you've been told a bunch of bullshit your entire life, or you do it on purpose. And you should stop. You should stop. It's ridiculous.
Specifically, the National Socialist Workers' Party was specifically against. It was built to address the Comintern, which was the Communist Internationale, and that was, he didn't think that one group in Moscow should be controlling the entire earth. He thought that he had a better idea of what socialism was, and that he was going to have an ethno-state where he would have like different classes of people based largely upon ethnicity. And crazy as that is, his idea was
Like,
I mean, look at the programs that he did. He called it privatization when he
hitting the
nationalized
wrong buttons
industry.
and shit. No, he didn't nationalize industry. Like, he did the exact opposite of nationalizing industry. You just don't know history. Like, he just doesn't know history. Let's Google that too. We'll come back over here. He's just lying. Did Hitler nationalize industry? No, Adolf Hitler generally did not nationalize industry. Instead, his regime famously carried out mass privatization during the mid-1930s. While Hitler's 1920 party platform initially called for the nationalization of all trust, he largely abandoned this goal once in power to win the support of wealthy industrialists. Like, bro, learn some fucking history. All right, I'm going to go and grab a cold soda. I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to turn the overhead light on. Let me get everything where it should be. Like, it's just like, it's so easy to debunk these people. They want to, like, say that I'm so wrong all the fucking time, when all you got to do is, like, Google is a wonderful drug. It's a wonderful drug. You should use it. I'll be right back. All right. What's up, Snake was right? No, he did not. He did not. I just proved it. No, it's not a misnomer. Just stop. God, I hate... You've always been a hardcore Trumper. Are you still a Trumper? Snake was right. You're too smart for that bullshit. You're too fucking smart for that bullshit. Alright, whatever. Don't trust your lying eyes, bro. Fucking fascist. Gosh. Ugh. Ugh.
So he took it out of the hands of investors and put it in the hands of the state, but yet then still made its former owners run the administration and management of the company, even though they weren't profiting from it. And if they didn't, then they'd be sent to, death camps.
Again, I ask you.
So again, we debunk.
God, look at the definition of fascism, right? Look at what all the people, the scholars that study fascism, that actually know fascism, not the fucking fascists that try to say their own shit. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. And I ask you once again. Is North Korea a democracy? Because just because you call yourself a thing doesn't make you a thing. What makes you a thing is what you do when you're in power. That's what makes you a thing. That's why, like, the first time I was ever approached by a National Socialist, I was at work. He was my sub-leader at a company called Denso. His name was Mike. The first time I was ever... He's like, I'm a socialist too. I'm a National Socialist. I looked at him, I was like, get the fuck away from me, yo. You're not one of me. You ain't like us. You ain't like us.
That authoritarian, yes, it's very, much like Stalinism.
I've read
Okay.
I've read.
I would
Snake was
agree,
right.
it definitely is. Political
I've read-
ideology and movement rose to prominence in the earlier 20th century.
Everybody goes to
And then we can
Mussolini.
go down. The problem is that when you get down
And
to
again,
the
I ask
actual
you,
roots and
I mean,
anarcho-syndicalism
Answer the question. Snake was right. I answer the question.
for the political movement in Italy,
Is North Korea a democratic country? Is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, are they democracy? Of course they're not. Come the fuck on, bro. God, you're gonna make me mad.
okay, so this is more of a general comprehensive term.
I will not let you make me mad.
I
Fine,
believe in a
Zen.
natural social hierarchy. That's what I was saying earlier, like the class type.
The thing about brainwashed people, it doesn't matter how smart they think they are. They're still brainwashed. You're still brainwashed.
System. Autocracy, centralized, definitely, yes, I would agree. This is fascism.
God, I
Fascism.
disagree with everything that fucking tells me
This
otherwise.
is fascism. Yeah. All this is all fascism. And guess what? This is all that Knock
What is he gonna say?
loves. He wants a centralized autocracy where you're not able to make decisions for yourself. You're not allowed free markets. They're going
Yeah. Militarism, yeah. Centralized autocracy, Trump check. Militarism, Trump check. Forcible suppression of opposition, definite check. Belief in a natural social hierarchy, check. Subordination of individual interests for the perceived interest. Oh, you better believe the only interest that matters is Trump's. So, like, even when they make a point, they're just making my point. They're just making my point. Again, Mussolini was a fake socialist, too. That was the playbook back then. Your labor, the base of your country, of your population, your labor force, back then in these countries, well, they were socialist. So if you wanted to gain power, if you wanted to gain supporters, you had to say you were a socialist. It's pretty fucking easy to figure out.
to take your money and then decide.
That's not real, or some. I don't know. I don't know
I
what he
know,
would
I know.
argue. But also, he said he'd think about it because I did extend the invitation, and
Okay.
who knows? Maybe you'll see him in the
Is
side
he
chat,
talking
maybe you
about
won't.
me?
But I don't know what.
Because like, there's no way that I received something from Midnight or that I responded to Midnight. The only way Midnight knows how to get a hold of me is through my emails, and my emails are a hot fuck. There's no way I responded to an email. Right? There's a few people that can actually get a hold of me. You know, Marty can get a hold of me. Kent CPA can get a hold of me. You know, fucking Wilkin K could probably get a hold of me if he really, really tried. If he, told me it was like an emergency and that I need to talk to him. Because he knows how. But I can guarantee you if they're talking about me back when this happened, when I did this stream. No, I never got an email from Midnight. I never responded to an email from Midnight that I remember. And I wasn't drunk back then.
You probably will see this, but they posted something in in the Google chat that I think you should see. I'm like, what?
Okay, I'll look at it later maybe. But fascism. First off, him saying he'll think about it, I question his capability.
No,
of
it's
thinking
fascism.
About it. I don't.
It's not at all.
think he's able to
Snake was
think.
right. It's fascism.
But,
he did just call himself really stupid, so at least he's self-aware, kind of.
And again, you're like literally making the point for Trump. Trump's trying to do the same thing Hitler did with Intel. And I mean, this is all like, why get so butthurt about being called a fascist? Stop following a fascist.
Well, he can say the words, but his behavior doesn't show that he really appreciates
Yeah,
the level
fair.
of stupidity. But here, I definitely
No,
agree with
I do
fascism.
appreciate
This
it,
is
and I
non-Cuban.
actually show the real definition, not the
ideology
made up
is
shit that you
characterized
fucking
by a
fascists
dictatorial
use.
leader. Yep,
And that's
Obama and Biden, whoever.
Kind of how it
in
goes.
charge.
Hillary's emails.
Centralized autocracy.
Do you know Hillary's
That's why
email,
he
Snake was
wants
right?
the
Are y'all
DC
buddies?
Making all the decisions for everybody.
Do y'all go to like
Militarism. Oh yeah, he's
fascist
all for
Discord
Antifa and
talk about
attacking
shit?
everybody. And again, this is what the communists were doing in Germany. The Hitler had his splinter group, the National Socialists.
A kid.
Because the communists were beating people up in the streets, the red shirts.
Comedy's alive again, remember?
Shirts. Forcible suppression of opposition. Definitely not. He thinks people should be canceled, they should be silenced.
I don't know, I just smoked that cigarette. I'm about to smoke a joint.
Deported. Yep, Knox ideology.
Got to when you're listening to
natural social
fuckers.
Hierarchy.
Butthurt snowflakes.
That's the weird thing.
So many butthurt snowflakes.
Yes, but then if you ask him to explain it, I don't know.
No, I'm just joshing with you, man.
So
I remember like way back in the day, like Trump. I don't know what you follow or believe. I'm just joshing with you.
Even though he has done some of the most stupid things with his
life. Back here to 8 Mile.
And those around him. You know,
yeah, one of these days. Maybe I'll go up and do some of my work in Detroit one of these days. I'm sure I make a lot of money up there.
Subordination of individual interests. Yes.
No, I'm also sure I wouldn't like driving around.
And as I pointed out,
too much,
they kept saying socialism was all this stuff. They didn't actually define it.
I probably have to have you to show me where I can go and where I can't.
I was saying. This is my
it's changed a lot.
Puffluffagus. Because I asked Maya, okay, so...
She didn't get all butthurt about socialists, man.
I don't remember exactly what she said.
These are socialists.
Like that, but I asked, because I said his definition of socialism. Oh, I remember.
So they want to argue that fascism is socialism, right? And they want... And they hate us, right? Like they did, Hitler hated socialists. The first thing he did in power was get rid of all the trade unions. Does that sound socialist to you? That's like one of the very first things he did when he got in power. Got rid of all the fucking trade unions. Arrested all the socialists, all the communists. It's like a well-known historical fact that Hitler hated communists, hated them. I mean, it's like you just can't escape these historical facts. You just can't. Do I need to Google it?
Remember, someone had said, or no, I think I heard. Anyway, whatever. Him say that socialists aren't looking.
I am still somebody very critical of Democrats. They will always be 1,000 times better than any single Republican ever. Republicans lead this country to ruination every time. And it takes a Democrat to save it every fucking time. And now they're trying to make it to where they can just ruin the country and a Democrat can't come back and save it. Right? Like that's like good luck with that. It's not going to work. It's called the French Revolution. Mary Antoinette.
For a handout, and I said that I had heard he said that, and so I went back into his chat just for that, because within 3 minutes of initially listening to him, I had left. But after I heard that, I said, I heard somebody said that, I heard that you said that socialists aren't looking for a handout, and that is literally what socialism is. It is stealing from other people.
No, it's
not. Because again,
no, it's not. Okay, let's do it. I mean, I guess we're going to have to keep doing this because stupid people need to be educated. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about educating idiots. So let's do it. What did he just say? Let's go back there. Just a little bit. Man, it's going to be just like a click. What did he just say?
I guess. Because I asked Maya, okay, so, because she was... I don't remember exactly what she said. They caused me to write that.
Handouts, yeah. Okay. Handouts. So that's what socialism is handouts. Let's ask AI. Is socialism the great enemy AI? Is socialism handouts? Okay, of course. Socialism is not traditionally defined as handouts, though it is often characterized that way in modern political debates. Fundamentally, it is an economic system based on collective ownership of the means of production, such as factories, land, and resources, rather than private ownership. Huh. Does that sound like handouts? No. Does that sound like you still probably got to go to work? Yes. Is having a few families own everything Is that feasible? No. Should everybody be able to live comfortably if they're working a 40-hour job in the richest nation in the history of the world? Yes. Should people that can't work starve, just be poor and destitute and not have a goddamn thing? No. These are very simple fucking questions, man. And why do you have to be so goddamn complicated about it? I'll tell you why. Because you're all horrible fucking people. You're just horrible people that's either ignorant or you're liars. That's fucking what it is, bro. You got to characterize something. You got to demonize something because you can't understand it or you're afraid of it. But again, just take a little bit of time out of your day to consider the life toll now of capitalism. The people dying because they don't have health insurance. You can't get preventative care in this country. You can only get treated when you're sick. Unless you're like uber rich with some diamond healthcare plan. But no, we need to protect billionaires, wealth hoarders, psychopaths, people that want to take every dime from every human being to the point that when they're walking over the corpses in the streets, they're only thinking about how they can use this to generate energy and production. They have sucked this country dry. They have sucked you dry. You're going to slave for the rest of your life, maybe to own a home someday, while they're digging bunkers 50 feet under the ground as they are preparing for Armageddon, essentially. Like literally our generals had to like refuse the syphilis-addled president that these fucking idiots elected. They had to refuse him nuking Iran. Nuking them. Have socialists ever detonated an atomic bomb on a civilization? Fuck no, they haven't. We have. Let's consider the death tolls of capitalism. Let's consider the death tolls of Americana-ism. I totally made that word up. Very badly. All right, let's continue. I can ramble for hours. Oh. For this camera. No, what am I doing? What is that? Oh, that's somehow got on. All right, whatever. I don't know how that happened. It's my new video on my new channel. Go check it out.
Because I said that his definition of socialism. Oh, I remember. Someone had said, or no, I think I heard. But anyway, whatever. Him say that socialists aren't looking for a handout, and I said that I had heard he said that.
It doesn't.
And so I went back into his chat.
Doesn't Hillary emails?
Within 3
this
minutes.
Is probably why I've never seen his face. Why he has that assassin dude on his profile picture. Doesn't he sound like some 5'9", skinny as fuck white boy with Coke rim bottle glasses? Probably got thrown in the locker in high school. Doesn't he sound like that guy?
Initially listened to him, I left. But after I heard that,
probably by a Jewish person, and that's why he's the way he is.
I heard that you said that socialists aren't looking for a handout, and that is literally what socialism is.
I get serious like Stephen Miller vibes
because
from Hillary's
again,
emails.
capitalism is you have the right to benefit from your own labor.
It's like that Stephen Miller meme.
Other people.
I bet you that Stephen Miller or that Hillary's emails used to have black hair, but he's bald now because he's so fucking racist that his black hair had to run away.
more of a right than you do over your own labor.
Oh, but Hillary's, it's failing. Don't you know
it's
the
Hillary's
capitalism is
emails.
failing it, and the wealth
And
gap
Midnight
is
Sparkles
exponentially
Midnight.
getting bigger. Okay, yes, I get it. Jesus Christ, you hate rich people, but how do they get how they are? Some of them were born into money. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, most of them are psychopaths, or probably all of them. I mean, there do seem to appear to be some decent ones out there that at least are rational enough to see the problem. Like Donald Trump and his administration going down to Mar-a-Lago and having all these elaborate like orgy type parties and shit. Like, do they not know history? Did they not study the French Revolution? Have they never heard of Marie Antoinette? Do they not know, like the ramifications of the Gilded Age? Because history does tend to repeat itself, and if they think like if these billionaires think that like these common ass and I begin to see it now, right? Like I watch these America First people. They're not pro billionaire. They're not. Like they're not pro Elon. They're not pro tech bro. They're not. In fact, a lot of them are starting to find that what leftists have been saying for a very long time is actually true. That we cannot continue to allow these leeches to continue to pilfer our society. They are pillaging us, and they are sucking us dry. But you want to blame the immigrants. You want to blame gay people or black people or whatever other poor person that isn't the actual problem. Because whether you like it or not, whether you think you're middle class, you're probably fucking poor compared to what you should be.
Hold on, but that's just it. I want to handle as many of the objections as possible.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not capitalism that's doing that. It's cronyism, which is a form of
This is Hillary Emails channel, I do believe. I just subscribed today. He's been trying to come and get me watch him rage about me for a while. It's called Fact of the Matter. I don't recommend you subscribe.
Says we're going to have our political supporters,
unless you want to subscribe to fascists,
about what the government's going to do, so they can
I don't recommend it.
businesses to take advantage of it. I would say that's a form of soft fascism.
I will show them though, especially when they're raging about me.
So yeah, it's not capitalism causing the wealth divide. It's again fascist socialism. And,
also, like if you're a poor person, enough of socialism, you really don't understand.
I'm sorry, like it's really unfortunate that Hillary's emails doesn't know or doesn't believe the history behind Sparkles. But like he is like literally got caught saying Nazi shit way back in the day. Go ask Dragnaut,
I'm like, right. I'm paraphrasing, but it's like
no, that was basically a quote of what he said. That if you're a poor person and you don't support socialism, you know what was socialism in America? The cotton plantations in the 1830s.
I'm having a go at your friend. You should tell Hillary's emails that I'm finally covering them. Hopefully you're not still friends with this douchebag.
Got to work.
This fascist.
And the plantation owner got to profit.
How you doing, man?
You didn't profit because under capitalism, you would get the profit and then you would sell those goods or services to the plantation owner. But under socialism, you do the work, he gets the profit. And this is what Knock is advocating for, is 1830s cotton plantations.
No, I'm not. I've never advocated for that a day in my life. Like he's literally got the definition I used, like highlighted. Like I don't think he understands the point he's making.
Do all the work, and massa gets to decide what you get to keep. And if he decides to let you have enough food, it's only because he wants you out in the field the next day. That's socialism, and that's what we see over and over again. What? There's also the nanny state, which some would call socialism.
Who's going to tell him that, like, capitalism has fields? Yes, people will be working fields in socialism. I didn't quite hear his low-ass microphone's point. Like, my shit's turned up all the way. Like, what the fuck why is he so low now? I probably need to turn him up right here. But what, like... We have fields now. Like famously, we have pictures of the Gestapo, ICE, raiding those fields to deport those workers, those hard-working people that are only trying to feed America. You know, we have fields in capitalism. People have to go work the fields in capitalism. Hillary's emails. Who's gonna fucking tell them? You know, breaking news. People work fields in capitalism. Fucking idiot.
But there are so many definitions of socialism.
No, there's not. There's not.
I mean, it's almost like
it's an ideology. Like are there so many different ideologies of fascism? It's an ideology. It's a far-right ideology that these douchebags have been running away from that. And they can't just bring themselves to live with that because they are so hell-bent on throwing out some inaccurate-ass 100 million number when it comes to socialism. Because all they think about is the Red Scare that they were fed when they were fucking babies because their parents were insane. And they drummed that insanity into them. Go look at, what is it? I believe it's Stalingrad during World War II. And tell me how much Hitler liked communists. Go look at that city. Go look at that battle. I believe it's one of the bloodiest battles and longest battles in the history of war, of any war. Because Hitler just kept throwing Nazis at him. And guess what? Guess what the Red Army did? They never surrendered Stalingrad. Never. Just go look it up. It's fascinating history. Do we take that away from them just because they're communists? Or do you recognize that the Nazis just hated them so much that they were willing to throw everything they had at them, and it wasn't enough? I'm not a fan of Stalin. But Stalin matched that madness with madness. See, I'm no tanky. Anybody that understands communism understands that it's an ideal. And it should never be implemented as like policy. It is an aspiration. It is a dream. That's my opinion. But socialism, it's economics. And guess what? These economics, they ain't working.
There's however
you're only going to be able to demonize it for so long.
So I'm going to go with what Marx said. You know, Marxists and leftists seem to like what Marx says about capitalism, where he totally botched it and came up with a weird proprietary definition of just, oh, it's harming other people, when for thousands of years before that, that had never been what capitalism is. Capitalism is you have one head of sheep. You
know who's a fan of Stalin? Donald Trump's homeboy, Putin. Putin's a big fan of Stalin. So are most of the Russian people.
Get to decide what that happens to that one head of sheep. It's not you stealing sheep from your neighbors and then selling it for your own good, which is socialism. But again, Nock thinks that he's going to be one of the smart ones, that he's going to be the plantation owner in charge of the plantation of socialism. No, that's not the way it works.
I don't even know what that means. He's just butthurt because I said fascist. Like, they were literally counting the minutes since I said fascist. And I just got to say it again. Like, if you're getting so butthurt about a word, you might want to look internally. You might want to look in the mirror. You really might want to look in the mirror.
You're one of the useful idiots, Nock, and Maya, and Pufflepigus.
Useful idiots.
So anyway, like if you're a poor person and have any skills,
but Hillary's email,
any
he's smart.
Improve yourself.
I guess he's smart. He sounds like he's got to be smart because he probably got his ass beat in high school by all the jocks for looking at their girlfriends all weird like. He's probably one of those dudes that has to stay away from elementary schools, if you know what I mean.
And you're not a capitalist, you're an idiot. But if you're a poor person who never has any intention of doing any work benefiting themselves, never, and just never trying to do any self-improvement, then yeah, fascism probably is, which is socialism, is probably your best way forward. Just make other.
So did you just hear him? So fascism is, which is socialism. No, socialism is a thing. Hillary's email. All right, so you have socialism, then fascism is a thing. Hillary's email. You have fascism. Socialism, fascism. Two separate things. Two very different things. Socialism, economics. Fascism, what you believe in.
Use your force to make others work for you.
I mean, shit, I'm for it, but I'm not going to be like, grr, fuck the system. I'm actually trying to do something.
I agree, Puff.
I don't know if it'll pan out, but one can hope. Then again, it's computers. The computers are always all the rage these days. Although with AI, I'm rambling, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then it goes on about Nazism, which again, National Socialism. How is that far right? How is getting the religion out of everything far right? How is
they're not even covering me at this point.
The entire economy. Because literally, if
why aren't you covering me?
Get
back to me. Shut up.
His name is.
All right, let's go.
From your own labor.
Atmosphere or liberal.
I'd like to see him like his reaction. I wonder if he skips the part where old boy like is like, I love fascism.
I think I'm interested in finding out because like if you think lefties are your biggest enemy, then we're never going to be MAGA ever.
I don't want you to be MAGA. You would never be MAGA. We know that you hate America. We know that. You want the Communist International. You want somebody in. I
don't know.
I don't know.
I must be responding to him. I don't know
everything that you're going to do.
He's such a fucking idiot.
Off of a tall building,
I don't understand how anybody can have a conversation with this person and say I enjoyed that.
Okay, great.
He reminds me of Standing for Truth.
Just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA. I mean, they have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on this.
Somebody's calling a fact of the matter. They said, "Hey Hillary." So Hillary's email. I've actually defined fascism several times. I'm not going to do it again. I like to use dictionary definitions.
He said he's defined fascism several times, but he's not going to do it again. He's actually.
And it's always the same definition. It's the definition. I don't see what's so hard to comprehend about that. I just did it in this stream. I probably do it in this stream just to appease his fucking ass.
We've done it many times.
I usually do.
And then this is
because fascists drive me insane.
Goes on right here.
Just so we can be really, really clear.
Like if you need a red flag on who's a fascist, it's the people that get butthurt about the word fascist, or try to justify it, or try to say it's not right wing, or try to lie about it. Like, yeah, that's probably a fascist. They probably know what they're doing.
I'm not going to be able to define it in your made-up version of the definition.
My made-up definition, so Oxford and Cambridge definition. So everywhere on the internet, everywhere in dictionaries pre-2008, you're not going to go.
Have we even heard him give? We did hear him give a definition. What was it? It was some fucked up bullshit that I Googled and easily debunked. It wasn't no dictionary definition. I gave the dictionary definition. In fact, he had it highlighted on his screen. The definition that I give. God, I'm gonna get it tattooed on my forehead, and then they can never say that I don't know the definition of fascism, right? Because it's gonna be right there on my fucking forehead. You're not gonna be able to say that anymore, and I'm gonna actually fucking do it.
Them, but you're going to go up with some made-up definition, and you're claiming it's what's in the dictionary, but you have no clue what fascism is. So no.
Hillary's emails. I'm not clairvoyant like that.
Steps to the Capitol.
They hated private industry, and yet they privatized industry. Just listen to yourself, dude.
Let's say police officers were.
Okay, I don't care what this video is talking
fascist
about.
Will be fascist.
Going to run away from it. So stick around.
Oh, it may have said something. I think I'd already clicked off. Probably.
Like we have many testimonies that say.
What about the violent ones?
Okay.
But please stick around Hillary's email because I'm not the one calling.
Yeah. Oh, no. I may have listened if he's about to say what I'm thinking.
These folks fascists. I'm not.
You're not. Okay. No, but my question.
I don't think I've ever read that Hitler hated capitalism. Hitler hated communism. Hitler kind of like idolized some of the shit America was doing to the Native Americans. I gotta go take care of something for my kid. I mean, that's just like documented history. I think he was really, really, really hoping and investing a lot of money in trying to keep America out of the war. There was a Nazi party here at the time. But I'll be back. 1 second. Turn that on. All right. So, let's get back at it. Where am I at? We'll find out. I'm not saying you're wrong. All I said was I never heard anything about him hating capitalism. Every dog has his day. Snake was right. Oh gosh, of course. All right, let's do it over here just so you can see what I'm seeing. It's usually never what they say. Hated capitalism. He hated capitalism. Got such language. I think you're smarter than this. All right, so let's go back to AI mode. Did Hitler hate, or actually I can just bring it over here. I don't have to do it again. We'll just do that. Adolf Hitler rejected traditional free market capitalism, but utilized a controlled version of private enterprise to fuel his regime. His economic ideology, often called the third position, sought to move beyond both global capitalism and Marxism. So, I mean, to use the word hated capitalism when he literally utilized as much of it as he could for his own designs on the world is such strong language there. Snake was right. It's almost as if somebody is really trying to make some kind of point for some kind of reason. You know, to insist that I need to read when it's right at your fucking fingertips, my dude. You probably need to stop reading who you're reading. Would be my suggestion, bro. That's all I'm saying. They're probably not the sources you think they are. Yeah, tell them, Puff. These fascists, they get so triggered. They get so triggered when people talk about fascism because people might learn about fascism, and that's the thing I don't understand about with our society trying to. Well, and of course I think fascists have had a major hand in that. You talk about some conspiratorial thinking. I have no evidence of it, but clearly fascists have infiltrated our government and our local governments for a very long time. Clearly, they've been brainwashing children for a very long time. You know, I mean, it's like, what are you gonna fucking do, man? We should be talking about fascism. We should be talking about what it is, what it actually is. We shouldn't be erasing Hitler. We should be learning from him. We shouldn't be, hardly anybody knows anything about fucking Mussolini. You know, they demonize Antifa when Antifa was the first defense against Mussolini. Maybe people should understand that history. They should.
Question was, the two times that you mentioned fascism, you couldn't define it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just what I said. He was spending a lot of money to get the capitalists on his side, and we almost did. We almost stayed out of the war. It took Japan attacking us for us to get into the war. They were almost successful in keeping us away. We just wanted to see who would win, who we could do business with. That fucking yay capitalism.
You say it, and you can't answer.
They are. This isn't I'm not calling this kid. I'm.
And he's saying they are. I'm imagining that he means these 20 Trump extremists. So they are literally going to call themselves fascists. They're not going to describe themselves as fascists. They're going to call them. Somehow I really doubt that.
I'm not saying every single person here is a fascist. There
But you can't define fascism, so how could you call any of them fascists?
I have
You
defined
do,
fascism
but it's just nonsense.
many
are all
times.
extremists. But the fascists,
He's the one, like, his definition of fascism was just stupid. It's a made-up version. It's a made-up definition. It was like 2 words.
are here, and
Okay, and when I asked you what you meant by extremist, you couldn't answer that either. So, again, words have no meanings.
Bullshit. Can't answer that either. What? Because I wasn't looking at my side chat. What's extremist? Go look at the Overton window. I mean, so left of center would be liberal, right? You would start to get a little more liberal. Then you start to see some progressives. I don't know, some would consider progressives extremists. I don't. The world doesn't. And then you go further left and you get socialists. Some would consider those extremists. I don't. Some have been, sure. But socialism itself, I don't consider that extremism. I consider that the politic of labor. Because that's what it is. It's the politics of labor and its economic system. Communism, yeah, that's extreme, I would argue, and I think the Overton window and most of the world would agree, right? Then you go to the other side of the spectrum, and the Overton window has, went farther and farther and farther right. So I should include, really honestly, on the left side of the spectrum. So I said center of left was liberalism. Well, that's how it should be on a world stage. But here in America, all right, so we're going to shift that Overton window to the right. And if you are a market capitalist at this point, you're probably left. If you're a social conservative, a never Trumper, you're probably considered moderate. Now, I would say old Tea parties, they're just right of that. Old Tea Party. Some have jumped on board with that MAGA train, some not so much. Some have resigned, some have stood on principle. So just right of that would be that. And right of those guys would probably be your big L libertarians, right? Big L libertarians. And then beyond that, you would probably get into your, ethnocentric right-wing ideologies. And then beyond that, now you would probably get into fascism, I would argue, neo-Nazism. And now probably even, it'd be hard for me to argue beyond that, but I think that they intend to go beyond that. Stephen Miller has talked about purging 150 million people from this country. Even beyond that, neo-Nazism, fascism is this post-democracy autocracy that the Republican Party seems to be aimed at now. So, I mean, it's not hard. And I can explain it. And I think my explanation of it is pretty fucking accurate, if I do say so myself. I came up with that on the spot, and I think it was dead ass on.
There are no definitions. Okay, I've heard this several times before. Nothing.
they're not going to run away from it. So stick around.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it's
Low to new
Like my man
highs.
David Dempsey,
I
Judge, a regular
agree
voice of Judge
100%. Capitalism is the far side of leftist economics, but that doesn't make it extremism, right? Like, is it extreme to have a politic for labor, for the labor of the country that stimulates the country? Is that extreme? Now, with anything, it can have its extremists, sure. Yeah, I would definitely argue that socialism is not extreme. I think that we could argue communism is extreme, but I even think that that's a stretch, right? Because communism is only made government by pretty much right-wing authoritarian dictatorships, right? They're not like communist countries. You know, communism is an ideal that should have never been revolutionized or made into government. Sooner or later, if we survive long enough, human beings will one day be communist. And it will probably live on other planets by then, because we are stubborn fucking beings and we seem hell-bent on destroying this planet before we get off of it.
20 years in prison. He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing.
We're getting.
Brojo was another one that used to get real butthurt about the word fascist. Like, real butthurt. Definite right-wing dude. And again, like all these people, I'm kidding with you. I mean, just stop trying to like justify fascism. Stop trying to like special plead fascism. Like, it gets really old, and it like literally anybody that's willing to try can literally debunk everything you fucking say with the touch of the fingers, as I've done several times now. It literally is not hard. Now, I had the advantage. Like, I got to hang around with some historians. One of the historians I got to hang around with were one of their expertise. And it happened on this channel. I mean, I'm not lying. One of her expertise was World War II. So I have a very, very, very heavy disadvantage over most people. I don't lie. Like, I used to give Hitler way too much credit and said that he was some, like, military genius. And I was put in my place real quick and learned the truth. You know, we all can be wrong. It's not a bad thing to be wrong, but it is a bad thing to justify or to try to rationalize or special plead for fascism. Stop doing it. It's gross.
Into the things that I want to talk about, even though they are in the thing. And I was typing I'll just say it. Yes, Rojo, please do call me Fact now. Although you can call me Hillary, I don't care. And everything short of the thing.
So, sometimes I like Brojo, sometimes I don't.
I haven't pinned yet, so I'll do that now.
Is he still around?
Everything else is midnight. Just so that everybody knows, midnight. If you would just put in parentheses,
I don't like midnight.
Like
MD, I think everybody knows
MN, or
I try to be nice to midnight,
whatever, so
right?
people would know.
And he's
so
two-faced. I hate two-faced
yes,
people.
Yes, Sandy, that is exactly why I went.
I hate two-faced people, and Midnight is the most two-faced person I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's like, bro, just be genuine. Like, if you can talk this shit or hang around people talking so much shit about me, do it when I'm around. Like, say it to me, and we'll have a conversation. Like, stop being a little bitch.
Because he wouldn't talk about anything that I would ask. You know, it's kind of like you ask somebody the weather, and they're telling you all about gas prices in the states around you. And you're like, I don't care what the gas prices are in other states because I've already got gas, and I'm going to be buying it locally. So I want to know
really
the temperature.
aged badly for him.
Me.
Like, you don't want to be talking about gas prices right now, bro.
Doesn't surprise me. Don't know what he said, but I've got stuff to get done. Enjoy, okay. See Knox BS. What's this? Yes, he's live right now.
Serb. Why am I not surprised Cerberus Sex is like just cozying up with fascists?
A bit before you can come in, okay.
And it's not like like he's been doing this for years now. Like, pretty much every time I pop my head up, Hillary's emails is there. It's like, don't say fascist. You know, like he said like I was the plantation keeper. He was trying to go for gatekeeper, but he's so fascist that the fascist lingo just kind of spills out of him. So he called it like the plantation keeper. But like he's like literally trying to be the gatekeeper of the word fascist. Like, no, you can only use the definition that's in my head and nobody else knows, bro. Kind of like Snake was right in the side chat.
Doing well. How are you?
I didn't make. What did I make up? I have read it several times, dude. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're just being stupid now. Do I need to Google it again? Snake was right. God, shut up.
Hassan's crap. Okay, he said that somebody pepper sprayed a cop.
And if you're referring to in this stream, I didn't even say it. Like, dude was bitching about how I didn't give the definition in this stream. So, like, just shut up. You're being stupid. Stop being a fash.
On a date, right?
Nobody likes
so
fash.
He wasn't specific because I caught him in a few
Maybe
eyes.
go shave your fash.
Conduct was exceptionally egregious.
A judge said, so a leftist judge that we don't know who it was that, you know, put him up, said that this conduct was exceptionally
Probably makes you
egregious.
mad to get like
was this person
debunked
allowed to
live
speak in their
by
own
a
defense,
stoner,
or did the government just
spending all them
railroad?
time reading all them
Because
like
a
white
lot of the
supremacist
cases,
books.
like the person just pled out because they were being held for 4 years without habeas rights, and so
okay,
yeah,
I got you.
If you're accused of a misdemeanor,
I be talking shit, bro. Everybody's used to it now.
Felony would normally get you, and you try to fight it at all because
hey,
if you say,
I used to like never interact with side chat, right?
Go up and you want to plead, and the judge says guilty or not guilty. If you say, Your Honor, I've been in jail for 2 years, and the maximum penalty for this is 6 months, and the judge says, I don't care.
God, shut the fuck up,
do you want to plead guilty
dude.
or not guilty? So then you can either plead not
what is
guilty.
he even talking about?
And wait another 2 years, see what happens.
I should do what he did to me and
or
speed him
you'll
up.
say, okay,
that drives
Your
my
Honor,
OCD crazy.
You know,
I know like most people do that at least a little bit, and I try to sometimes, and I should with his slow talking ass, like fucking talk about like long-winded. Him and CJ Cox would probably get along really, really well. I'm just saying. They'd probably like be fucking, I don't know, like CJ Cox's wife would probably have to be a little worried if they ever like met face to face. I wonder if Hillary's emails likes them bearded.
Oh, it's not worth it. I haven't been able to work for 2 years. My house is being foreclosed. My family's getting screwed over. My kids can't eat. You know, I'd rather just take the plea deal. I mean, this is totally unfair. Our justice system sucks. But
yeah, no,
I guess I have no other option than to take the plea deal.
It's called displacement.
They don't get to allow you to say, okay, great. We'll go ahead.
Like the funny thing is, like even like capitalist economics will tell you that capitalism is failing and that something needs to be done. Like capitalist economists in America are ringing the fucking red alarms like hell, have been for a decade now, saying like this isn't sustainable. I see what I call a stink bug. Oh, there's some kind of like Japanese beetle that's infested Battle Creek for several years now. It's crawling on my wall. I don't think they're actual stink bugs. I don't think they stink if you kill them. I think they just look like a bug that we called stink bugs in North Carolina. But they are out now. And that's going to drive me insane. It's going to drive my OCD insane. Like some years they're like super, super fucking bad. Some years they're not so bad. And it's mainly like I was noticing it out on my... because I'm driving a lot. And I go to a lot of different places. Like a lot of houses in Battle Creek aren't mowed. I'm not sure if they're abandoned. I'm not sure what's going on there, but like if you're not mowing your grass, especially here in Michigan, I'm not sure how it is across, and I'm not sure if you know the bug I'm talking about, but it's like a little flat, kind of roundish, pentagonal bug. I call it a stink bug. My daughter calls it a stink bug and gets all freaked out about them. But if you're not mowing your grass, then they like thrive. And we'll be infested with them again. And I'm wondering, because we just moved into this house, we probably haven't mowed our grass, and that might be why they're so bad. Because my daughter had 2 in her room, and now I'm seeing 1 in mine. All right, enough about the damn bug. Could be worse. It could be a spider. I fucking hate spiders. You'd probably see the funniest expression on my face if it was a spider before I got up to kill it. And I don't like taking the life of anything. Like these bugs, I'll try to keep them alive. I'll get them with like a paper towel and take them outside. I try not to kill anything, but a spider is dead.
Didn't hear your play deal, so you can get out of jail just as soon as they can process you, maybe 2 or 3 days. So you agree we committed all these crimes, and then the defense lawyer says, listen, Joe, if you say no, then you don't get to take the plea deal, because that just means that you have to go to trial. So you'll still be stuck in jail another 2 years. And it doesn't even matter if you get released without anything. Like, this is going to screw you over. So you're not allowed to say anything, explain anything. So then the judge only has what the prosecution's claim is. They don't know what the facts are. They just know claims because, again, no evidence is presented at pretrial hearings and even at a plea hearing. No facts are issued into evidence. None. So all that they have is what the prosecutor's telling them. So yeah, a judge may say it's particularly egregious, which means nothing. It just means that the fairy tale that has been put in front of him, he's commenting on. Now let's hear about this pepper spray and the stun gun.
He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray.
Flagpole and pepper spray. Let's go with this. Now, as I understand, there was someone who had a sign or
you can't even get through like an entire sentence of Mehdi Hassan speaking. Like, we're never getting to the fascist. Holy fuck, bro. Like, look at my stream, right? Like, I talk a lot, right? Like, I talked a lot of shit probably leading up to this, right? Like, we're barely into this shit.
Carrying a flag, and some of the people in the next 20 rows behind them
get to the good
surged
stuff, bro.
forward, as people do at concerts and that, and they bumped into him. And when you have the mass of hundreds of people pressing up against your back, and you lose your footing, and you slip and go forward,
who all comes
saying
in?
openly, "Oh yes, we're going to defend you no matter what." I would say the opposite. Nah, we'll just go ahead and let you get overrun because you're a bunch of pansies. You're screwing us on trade deals. Your problem.
Well, that is kind of what we're doing now.
They didn't even get to the fascists.
Yes, it is, because we're finally.
Yeah, I would be so for. I would be so for kicking out any country at this point that isn't spending enough, as much as they agreed to anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Trump is finally having America get smart, like we haven't been for the last 40 years. Because under Reagan, I would have gone with the Roman
this
model.
aged
Hey,
so
we're
badly.
in your territory.
I wonder if he
We're not
still
gonna pay
feels
you
this
rent.
way.
You're going to pay us.
Yeah, they definitely don't cover the fascists
for protecting you. So you want us?
He doesn't cover much of it at all because he's not even letting like Mehdi get through a sentence. Fuck, bro. So like, are these people just all talking shit about me?
Having private corporations do the will of the government.
I believe that's Halcyonic Caillou.
You guys are talking about.
She'd probably be there to defend me, but I don't know if she'd be heard amongst these loud ass, obnoxious assholes.
Okay, but look, it reflects laziness, gluttony.
It does.
It reflects not caring about the temple that you've been given to, by the gods. Basically,
you're right.
You're disrespecting.
Well, yeah.
And also, you're adding to the burden of the health issues of the society because your health issues might be transmitted to your children because of how you live your life in front of them. So you're creating like a new problem with your own thing,
So can we agree this would be a good benefit of fascism?
well, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd call it fascism.
Oh well.
Okay, but the way.
Wow, so now like I skip out forward and he's promoting the benefits of fascism. Okay, bruh. I don't know if that's wow. What the fuck, bro? Huh? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. Do I even want to know? Left to say carjackers are the real victims. Like these guys, man. Like they can't realize like they've been fed. That billionaires have spent billions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, because it's really nothing to them. To make these people think that like we're the enemy. Like there's nobody that knows me that could say that I'm lazy, that I don't work. I work my ass off, bro. It's just, it's what is capitalism, Brett? You've got you know, a generation of kids now that really don't know how they're going to work moving forward. Is there going to be jobs? What is work moving forward? I just don't really understand what they think they're going to get out of all of this, and how like still to this day like we're literally struggling to eat out here. Workers struggling to eat out here. Like I just don't get this, man. Like this aged really badly for them. Again, like Jefferson Spashcox was responding to this. It's the only way I know about it. And I was like, fuck, I got to see what they were saying. But it just seems like rubbish. Like everything they're saying is wrong. And then they go on for 4 hours. Like, I don't understand. I don't even know who Vivian V is.
They're in the open.
Doesn't this kind of go with poverty and the way they think of authority?
Of course,
right?
I wouldn't know because I don't know any of the people like this douchebag would be hanging out with. I think that was Halcyonic Caillou, but I'm not sure. I don't fucking know, and I don't think I want to know. It's kind of sick and disgusting, isn't it? Oh, shit. I shouldn't keep that page on. Fuck, I don't... What the fuck, bro? They're going on about Clementia and Dignitas and Firmitas and Fragilitas and Gravitas and... What the fuck? I don't even care. Oh, so, like, yeah, I've always enjoyed the fact that my existence just triggers people so much. You know, I think a lot of these people that you know think socialism is a joke or this or that or that this or that, like they must just never have really had to work hard in their life. Never had to struggle for shit. I don't know. But like, I don't know. They should probably read The Room. You know, even back then, like the writing was kind of on the wall. Like back then, like Trump was going to those fucking Trump parties. Like when did I make that stream? Let's check out my tape, my channel, if I can find it. So when did I make that stream? Should have been around here sometime, right? I don't know. What happened to it? It would have the... Yeah, there it is. So 9 months ago. 9 months ago, yeah, they were having the Mar-a-Lago parties when I made this stream. Eating caviar while their tariffs were driving up the prices for working people to be able to eat. You remember that? I mean, it's still happening. They still have them parties. Oh, MTG is starting to talk about what happens at those parties now. More and more dirt's starting to come out. Remember? Y'all know that? Ah, 9 months ago. And this was 9 months ago. You see how like two-faced they are. You know, socialism is just like handouts. No, it's an economic system. It's a politic of the worker. That's what I tell people that work all the time. These poor people, these workers, I mean, literally like bottom rung laborers in their 30s, working 2 or 3 jobs. They all suck. And they like think that they're capitalists and they defend capitalism and think I'm just fucking insane. And it's like, man, it's so sad. I mean, Marx talked about it. And a lot of it's not their own fault. You know, it's like I said, A lot of money has been spent by a lot of very, very, very wealthy people. Oh, that stink bug just dropped, like right near my bed. I should have went and got it. Now I gotta find it. I don't want a stink bug crawling through my bed. Yeah, you guys know the bug I'm talking about. It's like a little round thing. It'll crawl everywhere. It'll fly, but it doesn't fly very well. And they're like kind of fat, so they don't really stick to the walls very well. Then usually they'll like crawl into a corner and just stay there, and you're like, is it dead? Like, what the fuck is it doing? Now it's on my bed. I don't like that. I'm gonna be like my daughter and freak out now. I don't even know what I'm scrolling. That's usually what I do when I'm watching YouTube. I just kind of like scroll. Y'all can't even see it anyway. Yeah, that was just like weird. I thought it would be a little more hardcore than that. You know, like these people are just so devilishly fooled, and it's sad. Like like Snake was right. It was told me I needed to read, right before I debunked that ass. Hatred of capitalism. Come on. But I don't know where I was going with it. It's just kind of sad, man. Just like fascism's bad. It's a right-wing ideology. It's the far right of the spectrum. I would argue now there's one a little bit farther right, at least in intention. And you're right, like what we're seeing with Trump. I mean, he definitely uses the playbook, but it is its own thing. And I can't quite remember what they call it, but it's like post-democratic something or another. It's basically like they want like a rich king. I think J.D. Vance wants to be that rich king. It's the ideology of J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel and all these billionaires that they just got so much money that they got so much money it drove them insane, and they were probably always insane. Like you don't become madly wealthy unless you're exploiting people, and that's why like the system just needs to change. We can do it better than we do. Just like we could do it better than when we were doing feudalism and tribalism and all the isms. Socialism is just a next step. And then somebody will come up with something better, because that's the learning process. And why settle? Why settle for something that halfway works, let alone this? This isn't working at all. Most people don't have $500 in their bank account. Most people don't have a retirement. Retirement is not going to be a thing for my generation, for most of my generation. And what is work going to be anyway? If Elon Musk is out there trying to stand for some UBI that would probably not be nowhere near enough, they've got to understand. Then they understand, like, they are almost at that capability of AI taking over. And how are people going to survive? How are people going to live? And how are they going to keep making all of it? They got to figure out that formula that's going to work, that's going to appease. If they could keep us at home playing our video games, if we can eat, how much is enough to do that? How much is enough to keep them barely satiated? Satiated enough that they're still looking at the immigrant, still looking at the gay person, still looking at, the black or brown person, still looking at the atheist, still looking at the Catholic, still looking at the Muslim, still looking at whatever they want to look at to make them not look at the one true enemy we all have, that we've always had. The people that wealth hoard, the resources that are naturally all of ours by right. We were all born on this floating fucking rock through space. Nothing makes any other particular human being any more special outside of having the advantage to get some kind of like elite education that most of us can't afford. And if we do try it, then most of us go in debt for it. The system is unsustainable. So they must demonize that next step. They must make you think that that next step is the enemy, just like they made you think the immigrant was your enemy, and the gay person was your enemy, and the trans person was your enemy, and the brown person was your enemy, and the atheist was your enemy, and the Catholic was your enemy. I can't remember the exact order of the list, but you get the point. You get the point. Anybody but them. Anybody but the people spending billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to make you so fucking stupid to think that National Socialism is socialism. Of course it is, because duh. Like, God, stop. And again, I have to ask you, and anybody out there that ever gets that shit from any of these fucking clowns, use it. Because they can't respond to it. You didn't see anybody respond to it. Any of these people, justifying, Snake was right, justifying fascism, respond to it. Is North Korea democratic? Which I deleted it now, but is the Democratic Republic of Korea, the Free Democratic Republic of Korea, is it really a democracy? Or do they just say they are? Boom. Mic drop. The earth isn't flat.